Hello, this is the huge Manchester derby debate. Today we've got me, Gaz, and Adam McCullough as well from Full Time Devils. We sent Adam out this morning as well onto the streets of Stockport, and as well as two night wins, he came back with these two guys. I'll let them introduce themselves.
Yeah, and obviously we had to let them talk first because they would have cried about it for ages. They've had too many times finishing below us recently, so we'll give them this little one. It's obviously myself here on BlueMoonRisingTV and Paul, the favourite ginger on the set by some far.
Not from Stockport. So there we go.
Yeah, they've got Gaz here from South Manchester, you know. Well, not from Salford at least, I guess. But anyway, enough of these terrible Salford and
Stop flagging off where I live.
This is gonna come all the way through.
We all know I'm from the heart of Manchester, lads. Come on, let's stop messing about here.
So it's the Manchester derby tomorrow. Everyone's getting excited. How are we feeling? Are we feeling... Oh, Gaz, tell me how you feel.
I hate it. I hate everything about it. I hate them. All my life since I was a kid in primary school, hate the Manchester derby, hate the lead up to it the week before, hate the day itself, even back when you guys were crap.
Are you hating this right now?
Yeah, I hate it. I'm just in a constant state of
yourself after the
shaking.
show's
I'm just so nervous.
It's my birthday tomorrow. There's nothing worse than that. It's actually my birthday. I've got to sit through a watch along. We're doing a watch along as well. I'll be with some of these guys as well, unfortunately, once again. And I've got to sit there and take it. Hopefully, it'll be a positive result.
Yeah.
I won't send you a happy birthday text message until the result comes through. So hopefully we win, and I can just send you that birthday
message. If you haven't already, add us on Skype. Manchester derby. You can get involved in the show. You can have your say, your questions, everything we're going to discuss about. But shall we just crack on then and get into the actual big debate?
Let's do it. And while we're debating today, also make sure you get in the YouTube comments because we will be reading some out. Right.
Shall I get stuck in while we're at it?
I think it's get in the YouTube comments, see what people are saying. But going into this derby, probably being overshadowed a little bit, innit?
There they are.
That's it. Is Jose and Pep.
Look at that.
It's shining nice in the light.
You can see the future.
Thinning grey hair there. A man who's clinging on to his dignity with no class and elegance. A man here who's accepted his fate a long time ago.
Accepted his fate? I can see little hairs, yeah.
He's not picked his heads today. And Adam Mack's not happy.
Obviously, that photo was taken this morning for this shoot. Yeah, we got him involved there.
That's 5 o'clock double for bald people.
Right. Shut up anyway, talking about Pep's follicle troubles. Who's got their team playing the best football so far?
I got a great comment here from Tommy Beaver. Stockport is a shithole.
Right, okay.
And I'm from there.
That's a United fan. You see lots of City fans in Stockport, apparently that's where we're all from.
Yeah, but no, Stockport is a shithole.
What's up, Robbie?
Listen, right, everyone, shut up. We're not here to talk about Stockport. We're here to talk about the Manchester derby.
Pep versus Jose.
Pep versus Jose. This season so far, both sets of fans I think have been pretty darn impressed. Who do you think's actually played better? Who do you think's got their team playing the better football so far?
Surprisingly, I actually think it's not about results and efficiency, but I do think we're playing the better football so far. I think the goals scored proves that. I think the fact that all the pundits have been purring about our play, they've been idolising how he's brought this style that he's famous for, the Guardiola style play, to quote one of your contributors, Mr. Andy Tate, of course.
You didn't need to reference that. I think most people knew.
It's been brilliant. It's been absolutely great so far. We've been precise, we've been intricate, we've been actually fun to watch after last season's dourness, haven't we?
Yeah, I think so. I think, like you said, I think Guardiola is really starting from zero. I think at City, and I think he's ripping it up and starting again. Yeah, and I think Mourinho. I mean, do you think that Mourinho is ripping everything up and starting from scratch?
Calculated. I think it reminds me of. Do you remember his second spell at Chelsea? He had that year, and for some weird reason, he kept saying, "We can't win the league. We can't win the league. We can't win the league." Even though they were. Well, it wasn't Liverpool, and that was the main thing that season. It wasn't Liverpool.
Look, as long as our biggest rivals didn't win the league, that's all. We were buzzing that you guys won the league.
How old are you?
I mean, we were getting so many messages from fans saying, "We won the league." It's like, what are you on about? We're buzzing you won the league.
I didn't even notice they won the league.
Liverpool had a good rivalry was back in the 80s. So I don't like.
Yeah, but the history of the fixture.
When Liverpool win the league, they'll say, "Just good job the biggest rivals didn't win the league and City." It will change. It will change. I guarantee you now. The tone will change to fit the narrative. It always does. Same old thing.
Hang on a minute. City fans can't say anything about this. City fans, I find, are just the perfect example of never letting the truth get in the way of a good story. Genuinely, every bit of banter that City fans have It's never true.
Didn't it take 200,000 to Ewood Park?
2010, mate.
York away. I was there. As were you and all our family.
But as I was saying, guys, this reminds me of Jose's second season at Chelsea. And this time where he kept saying we couldn't win the league. And I feel that's the same. He was out of the job at Chelsea. From December, he's had to watch United. And he's added 4 players. I remember when he added, was it Matic, Costa, to that Chelsea side and made them title winners. So I'm not saying we're definitely going to win the league, but I think he's had that period where he could improve on what he had saw, and he's kind of put the finishing touches.
There's a great quote from Barney Ronay in The Guardian where he said Darth Vader's returned to the Death Star, and there was a little bit of that. Are United this big kind of powerful, almost dark entity, and Mourinho is the right man for the helm potentially, because he maybe exudes the club values of being, likes to be the special one, he likes to be. There's politer words to put it, but he likes to be in control, doesn't he?
Feel free to say what you like, guys. This is Blue Moon Rising TV and full-time Devils, man. We're not the BBC, guys.
He's a bit of an arse. I mean, that's the best way to put it, Jose Mourinho. And in my opinion, United as a club tend to be a bit of an arse as well. And he comes from Ferguson for 20 odd years. So is it maybe the fact that now you've got a big arsehole in charge of a big arsehole of a club that therefore it's more fitting and they'll suit each other?
And we've got loads of arsehole players as well. Ibrahimovic, he's an arsehole. Pogba, probably a bit of an arsehole. And this is the thing though, I had a City fan going on at me recently saying, it wasn't one of you guys, a City fan.
So the other City fan.
He was saying, do you not think it's like we're the good guys though, and United are the bad guys? And I'm like, yeah, and that's how we want it to be.
No, but I think that's absolutely. City fans like to make it seem like Pep Guardiola is this angel, and Pep Guardiola doesn't want anything to do with Jose Mourinho. He's not interested. Believe me, he hates Jose as much as Jose hates him, and they both want this victory as much as each other. Pep Guardiola is a perfectionist, and I think he likes to kind of play it off, but there's no doubt in there.
He's trying to be a pro, which Jose Mourinho doesn't even care about trying to come across as a pro. He puts his thumb in assistant manager's eyes. And
I don't know what you're on about, guys.
Everywhere he goes, he's absolutely.
Gaz and H&M later on. Counter.
That guy's now dead, That's what's mad.
Controversy everywhere he goes. And the thing is, you're saying about the bad guys. It's funny. I find it ironic that the player that most seemed likely to leave your club was the nicest man in football, Juan Mata. As soon as Jose Mourinho comes through the door, he's like, "You're way too nice, mate. You're like a puppy. Get out of this club." So that seemed totally fitting. But it does feel as though it is. Barcelona are City. I'm not saying we're as good as Barcelona, and Real Madrid are United. And it does seem that the managers suited those clubs, and they suit these clubs that they're at now in a similar sort of way. In that Real Madrid are seen as the sort of Galacticos, sort of club.
The world transfer.
Barcelona try to do things the right way, and it seems as though it feels like there's a bit of that going on.
Barcelona try to do things the right way.
I know they just got.
It's like the Messi Ronaldo comparisons, isn't it? Like Messi's an angel, Ronaldo's a saint. When it's not necessarily the way they are in real life.
Yeah, that's
somewhere in between, I think. Anyway, right, what we're talking.
Can I one sec? We want the guys to send comments in, so I'm going to read 3 from Full Time Devils. You're going to get 3 from Blue Moon, yeah?
Okay.
All right then. Let me do my 3 then. I'm going to give you a chance to argue against this, but you only get 1 sentence, yeah? Hamid Mahmood says, if Gaz hates a derby day, he should be a Chelsea fan. I know why you hate a derby day, so explain it to him.
I hate a derby day because when you're in Manchester, especially when you're coming up against City, the week when you lose a derby, it's the most horrible feeling, apart from losing to Liverpool, of course. But it is the most horrible feeling. The whole week after, whether you're in school, work, college, whatever, having to have the shit ripped out of you all week, and knowing that is potentially going to happen again if City win, then that is why I hate derby day. Just
take a deep
because you're a plastic, is that what you're trying to say?
Banana King says, Adam, get off your phone. I'm actually reading your guys' comments, so if you don't want me to lift up my phone,
Banana King's had his moment in the spotlight.
Banana
King. He had his phone, so...
Yeah.
That's your second comment.
One more. Right, I'm going to make my 3rd comment a good one then.
I've got one.
City's trophy cabinet is just like Pep's hair. There's nothing there.
Oh,
Banter!
Bantered off there. Right, so I'm going to read one from. I just lost it. It was from Yatesy, and he was saying the best derby moment of all time, which I think we're going to get to, and he was talking about Dennis Law's back heel.
Oh.
So I'm sure you guys
But we have no
might
history.
heard something about that.
We have no history. That didn't happen.
We'll get onto the no history jibes in a minute because City have a
I
lot
think
of
no.
history.
To be fair, right, I think it's ridiculous when people say City don't have any history. I mean, you did win the Shamrock Trophy in '92. I mean, that's one of your biggest moments.
When's the last time you won that?
I'm sure, yeah.
There's a big gap in the Manchester United trophy cabinet where that's just missing. And the
But your
someone's got
Irish
OCD.
contingent-
We want wanting to get that. We need to go all out.
Your Irish contingent are devastated.
Yeah, which is a lot. To be
Yeah.
fair. But
The Irish just want Liverpool, obviously, as
the
well.
thing is, City done badly in the 80s and 90s, which most people who are sort of alive now, I guess, that's when they knew football. But before that, like there was a guy at City who was 100 years old, and they celebrated at City in the crowd.
Pellegrini, man, he's not that
Yeah,
old.
I was going to say, it's unfair,
He's older.
really. Dan Michaelis,
He's older.
I mean, come on.
And he was saying how when he was young, City were great. City went bad in the middle of his sort of years when he was 50 or 60, and now we've gone good again. So it's just that 80s and 90s, which is what everyone remembers when we were crap, which we were.
Was it just because United kind of kept overshadowing you as well? In
I think
'68, when you won the league, didn't we win the European Cup? And it was kind of like, you do this, we do that. You do this, we do that.
No, not necessarily. No, I think City and United, there's always been a great rivalry there, obviously, in the 60s and beyond that. But City, biggest attendance in all time in British history. You know, first team to win the FA Cup in Manchester. There's a lot of history there. But anyway, let's get into another comment.
It hasn't always been a nasty rivalry as well. Ray used to, remember Ray saying
just
that,
making it like that now, do you know what I
Ray
mean?
used to go to City games and all that stuff. Guys, before these guys read out their comments, can you call in on Skype, search on Skype, Manchester Derby. We're going to start taking a few callers in a bit. Gaz will answer the first one.
I've got a question here, lads, from Callum here. Will the bus that Jose parks in front of the goal, will it be a single decker or a double decker?
Ah, right, okay.
Tactics talk.
So this absolute nonsense about Jose Mourinho parking the bus. If you win every game 1-0, I could not give a toss how you play. If you're gonna win every game of the season 1-0, win the league, asked.
No,
and this is the thing now, they're already saying this because they know that
Adam doesn't even agree.
if we win, he doesn't agree with me. Asked, mate. Asked. Right, go on then.
No,
What's your
I
say?
think-
The difference is, obviously, you can't go out to games saying we're going to
Yeah.
win this
United
one
way, is it?
1-0.
That's
But
the
if you're
United
1-0 up with 10 minutes to go, you park that bus.
I think there's a way you do it. I think even Fergie kind of chose games where he'd play not to draw or to not lose, but he'd play games to keep it tight and hit them on the break or something. I think you can do that throughout a season. You have to be able to do that. But
of course,
ultimately, at home against the lesser teams, we want to be playing football.
No.
And I think Jose has done that in the past. I mean, when he was in La Liga, he's got the record for most goals scored. And that was at a time when Pep Guardiola was there. So he can do it. I just don't want to see zero strikers at Old Trafford against one of our rivals. He's come to Old Trafford with Chelsea and done that. And we criticise him for it. So now if he does it as Man United manager, we can't turn a blind eye.
Yes, we can.
No,
That's
we
what
can't.
football fans do.
No, it's
Football
not,
fans are fickle. That is how it works. You
Guys
mentioned
promoting
that.
delusion.
I'm just saying that's just how it works.
2000,
You mentioned then about parking the bus, and I just have this horrible feeling that not both teams are going to park the bus, but both teams are going to play a sort of boring
it's
style
gonna
of
be
play with
probably
this
naff,
one.
isn't it?
Oh, I really hope it's not.
It's like
though.
every time you think it's amazing, it tends to be a letdown. But I'm a City fan, so I've learned to not expect anything other than the thing you don't want.
Yeah,
That's
guys,
what we tend to have.
guys, make sure you're giving us a call on Skype. You can call us on Manchester Derby. That's our Skype name.
We're using that
Have
across
we
the
got a
both
caller,
channels
by the
today.
way?
Yeah, both channels. So City fans, Reds, you can both call up that number. Get in the YouTube comments, that name. YouTube comments as well. Get in all the YouTube
And
comments.
Facebook.
And also, we're on Twitter as well. Our Twitter is at Fulltime Devils. Their Twitter is BM Rising TV.
TV, that's right. I think
Quicker on it than that?
People asking, putting
That's
comments
because you're
here.
always on their page.
One of the
guys.
comments is, who is better, Iheanacho or Rashford? We're going to get to that later
Oh,
on.
not
That's
this
gonna talk
again.
about that.
We're gonna get into
one
that
of the
debate.
topics. We're going to get right into that. There's going to be lots of big topics. We're going to be talking Jose against Pep. We're going to be talking who's going to finish higher in the league. So we're going to get stuck into
I'm
all
going to
that.
say
I feel like we're going to an ad break,
I'm
aren't
going
we?
to put a thing forward now for Pep finishing higher in the league. I'm going to do that now.
Go on, then.
Right now.
Right, just
On
gonna
live.
end the debate.
I'm going to mention.
now.
Why is it too soon?
Yeah.
No, is it? No, it's not. It's not. Let's
No,
get back
sorry.
into it.
He always comes to
Jose Pep, who will finish higher in the league
Gonna
this
be
season?
Pep. because I honestly think this man is intensely kind of driven to prove that this whole thing about him not being able to do it in the Premier League, I think he wants this immensely. I think he wants to prove people that say he couldn't handle it at Stoke away or he couldn't handle it over the Christmas period. I think he wants to prove them wrong, and I think he's already learning lessons that many people think he wouldn't. He's already got a bigger squad than he would have used previously because he's aware of the fact that it's more difficult here. He's already got his team playing the football that people said wouldn't work in the league already, and he's already making players like Kolarov look actually not shit, which is impressive given how rubbish he was last year.
Has he got his team playing the football already?
Have you not? Obviously,
I have watched. I didn't watch the last one against West Ham. The first half was very, very good.
I was purring.
That was very good.
I think you've got to it's early in the season, so these players only know the best of Pep Guardiola.
Yeah.
They haven't learnt the bad side to his management yet. So things could still change. You guys will improve.
Yeah.
Obviously, as the season goes on, you'll improve. But I do think defensively, there's something there. I also think once Premier League sides learn how to play against Pep a little bit more, you'll come into problems. I do think the lack of a December break might cause an issue. I think this season, United have to be considered favourites to finish. I'm not saying for the league to finish above City, which is probably going to see us win the league if we do that.
Well, no,
but
go on.
I think because of Jose's experience in the league already, that's the only thing that separates them at this moment in time.
I think there's generally a little bit, and I would have said this regardless of where he'd gone to. I do believe Jose's kind of aura has been dented a little bit by the fact that he did basically just totally and utterly bottle it last year, and that's not even exaggerating. He were near a relegation spot at one point, and I do think this whole shtick about this whole I'm against the world, I'm unbeatable, and I'm this kind of motivator, I think it probably will start to wear thin a little bit, and I do think some of that air of invincibility has been lost. I think he's a great manager, but I don't think he's. I think eventually he does the same thing at every club. He always creates this us and them kind of thing. That's his mentality. It's a siege mentality. I do wonder if once you've seen it fail, as soon as you've seen that style fail, then is there questions about it? And eventually, will that start to wear a little bit thin if things aren't going well? Because it's easy to accept that when it's all going well, but if it gets a little bit of negativity, if Mourinho does show the first signs of not crackiness, so to speak, but any of that tetchiness that showed last year, could that not then start to seep into the squad as well?
Well, I think that's why we've improved the squad in some of the areas that we have. I think Paul Pogba's one of those players who has a great attitude and is always going to fight for the team if things aren't going too well. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, I think, is exactly the same.
Big game mentality.
I think, that's what I mean. So they're the right players to have in the squad, and I think that we have quite a well-rounded squad in terms of that. I think we've got enough youngsters as well who still want to go out and prove themselves. Pardon?
Or out on loan, the Jersey.
That's what I mean, right? Saying out on loan like it's a cheap shot. Do you think that the team who finishes above the other will win the league?
I think it's funny because I think everyone is looking at Manchester, aren't they?
Don't discount Chelsea.
Which is great, but don't. I agree with that. Don't discount, and they could just sneak.
I don't think
both of us.
I honestly will put my neck out on the line and say that United and City will be way out ahead of them. I don't think
Chelsea. This Chelsea side won the league.
Conte is.
This Chelsea side is the one that won the league.
You compare that to United and City squad this year.
But then you look at
I think it's there.
Eden Hazard's finding himself again. I think, obviously, you don't want to talk about Chelsea or show, but I think Chelsea are going to definitely be there.
Conte's a good manager, isn't he? He knows what he's doing. He's organised.
Everyone's talking about the fact that most of the best managers or the biggest, highest profile managers in the world are in England now. So it's not just
there's obviously Mourinho, Guardiola, and then Conte as well. Obviously, Koeman. Who else? Klopp.
Yeah.
Moyes.
Yeah. We're not using the Moyes word again. We're not saying that again after that. I was about to say the M word.
Talking about City United, do you remember when you guys came to Old Trafford and beat us 3-0?
What are you going to say?
You obviously remember.
I know what he's going to say.
Someone
I know what he's going to say.
Someone uploaded a screenshot of Gaz's fan cam after that game, and guess what the title was? It wasn't that bad.
Now,
losing derby.
Case for my defence here. The week earlier, we played Liverpool
he
and
took
lost
a load of
3-0.
smack.
He wasn't out.
The week earlier, we played Liverpool. We were absolutely dreadful there. We were slightly better against City, and we didn't warrant losing 3-0. But it wasn't good. My point was, it wasn't as bad
The fact
anyway.
of the matter is that derbies are a funny thing, aren't they? You just don't know. Something added to it. It doesn't necessarily mean, as they say, cliche, but form goes out the window. And
is.
and
Well,
so
look
you
how
just
many
don't
times
know.
back when
Dickov.
Even when in the 90s.
Oh,
yeah.
Even the impeccable one as well, where we did like during the anniversary and so when Benjani scored the winner. Like,
What is your favourite derby memory? Sorry to go off.
No, you know what? No.
Just one derby memory.
No,
we're
that's
gonna
on
come-
track, and we're coming to it later.
Oh, is it later?
It's on track, and we're
Sorry,
coming to
guys.
it
Who wants to
later.
call
You know
in?
me.
Looks like it's maybe a United fan that we're going to be speaking.
Who are we speaking to? Hello, mate. Who's on
it
Skype?
was lights.
Loving the
City fan.
Ralphies.
Oh, it's a
City
City fan.
fan.
All right, I'll let you
Nice.
I
go.
don't love the
I
Ralphies
thought
at
we
all,
weren't supposed
mate.
to be any City fans.
Scrap that.
That's the other one.
Yeah, it's the other one.
Mate, whereabouts are you?
On our screen.
Well, I'm at home. I live in Bury.
Oh,
Right, okay.
I'll let you off with
How's
that.
things in Bury today? Is it a nice day outside?
No,
Right,
it's
innit?
just like typical Manchester.
Of course it is, yeah. Proper Manc day.
Are you buzzing for the derby, mate? What are you confident for? I'm guessing your team, City.
What's the guy's name?
Say that again.
What's the guy's name?
Don't know.
I'm a bit mixed on it really because we've both been playing well start of the season. I feel like it's going to be a bit of a stalemate, to be honest. I think it's just going to be a bit of a draw.
Could you just move a little touch to your left, mate, just to get into shot a little bit?
There we go. Oh,
Yeah.
There we go. We'll get
Oh.
it.
There we are. Look at
There we
that face. Get it on camera, mate. Get that.
That's not a face that was made for
it
radio.
just
like
looks
Gaz is.
different on that.
He's teasing us here. It's going to
alright.
be great when you get the reveal.
we're gonna get a good face.
Got a bit of
There we go. That's fine. There.
Few technical issues, guys, but it's
Yeah.
all right. This is what
Fine.
there we
That's
go.
Hey!
Nice, sorted it. Well, that's all I've got time for, mate. So we are talking about who's going to finish higher in the league.
What's this gentleman's name? I can't hear.
Yeah, what's your name again, mate?
My name's Harry.
Harry. Okay, I forget that you guys
Can't hear.
listen.
Yeah.
So, Harry, we're talking about who's going to finish higher in the league. Do you think if out of the two Manchester teams, whoever finishes higher in the league wins the league?
Well, yeah, this season I'd say because we've both spent the most money. Well, maybe Arsenal spent a bit, which is a surprise, but they're not gonna challenge because they haven't got the squad depth. But I feel like both of our teams are pretty good.
Yeah.
Both got good midfields, both got good defences.
Yeah. Signed well, do you think, in the summer, both teams?
Yeah, Stones I feel is a good signing. I think he's played well, settled in well, he looks confident. But Ibrahimovic, I know he's played alright, but give it to the end of the season, he'll be absolutely knackered. I don't think he'll be scoring as many as he is now.
Oh, I don't know about that, mate.
You don't get tired, mate.
You don't get tired.
Tired gets Zlatan,
Age
remember?
doesn't matter. Age doesn't matter with Zlatan. He's been
That's what I
doing it
keep
for the
telling
past few
myself
seasons and continually been doing it. Surely it's not going to affect him.
I think
that
we'll
much.
manage Zlatan though. I think we'll just play him in the Premier League. I can't imagine him playing much in
Well,
the
you're not playing
Europa
for Champions
League.
League, are you?
Yeah.
Go on, Harry. Oh, right, here we
That's
go.
how long did that take?
I don't want to play.
I've always loved Thursdays anyway.
Well-
I'm asked.
I think Marcus Rashford he's a decent player, and I feel a bit sorry for him really because I think if you hadn't signed Ibra and you hadn't signed anybody else, he would have been your first choice.
Yeah, well,
So,
I think that he's going to
feel a
get
bit sorry
plenty of
for him.
games, and I don't think you'll be feeling sorry for him come this weekend because I think he's definitely going to start. Are you actually worried a bit about him? I mean, you say that you like the look of him, but would you be worried seeing him on the team sheet for United?
Well, I feel like him and Iheanacho share the same qualities, so yeah, I think you should be worried about Iheanacho and we should be worried about Rashford.
But why, go on, then. You tell me why I should be worried about Iheanacho. You two can tell me as well.
Well, I think, right, if Iheanacho was English, he played for the English team, how much media do you reckon he'd get on him? Do you reckon
He is English, and
everybody would be
I thought his
buzzing
name was
about him
Ian.
like they are with Rashford?
Ian Nacho.
He's from Stockport, mate. He's from Stockport.
Did you see the thing we shared on Facebook comparing the stats by any chance?
Yeah.
Right, so
I think
the stats are that he
The
has a...
thing with the stats, though, it doesn't show, like... Go on.
No, carry on. What were you saying?
The thing with the stats is it doesn't show, like, the movement on the pitch and stuff like that, the sort of goals that are being scored. So although Iheanacho does come out on top on there, I feel like both of them are really class players, so
Yeah.
I don't think you should underestimate any of them.
No. And, I've got to say, I've got a lot of time for Rashford when he's not scoring against us, yeah.
And retiring
Demichelis, yeah.
Which actually I'd say there was a bit of a favour actually, because Martin Demichelis probably didn't.
Do you know when you've got like an old dog is getting on a bit and he starts to wet himself, you're like,
it's
probably
just like
down a bit. That's what happened with Demichelis.
You should put him down.
That's what you do with Pellegrini, isn't it? Fucking hell.
Come behind the shed.
I think I'm Rashford and Iheanacho. I think it's. I understand I totally agree with what you're saying about him being English, meaning he gets more praise, and I think that's probably of detriment to Rashford because he is English. But I do think it's so unfair to compare these players. But firstly, they're both very different kind of players in the way they play, and secondly, Rashford's so much better.
Objectively speaking.
Also, what you said then, Harry, about if Iheanacho is English and all that, I think that that obviously is maybe working in Rashford's favour at the minute with him getting more hype, more people feeling like they've seen him play a little bit more, even when they've not. And I feel like that sort of thing that will work against him when he does eventually start having a bad run of form, which happens to every single player. It's going to happen to him eventually.
Because he hasn't actually had a run of games yet. That's the thing, Rashford actually has, and he has done well. I can't pretend he hasn't. He's obviously done well.
But he's done it. I think a lot of people argue with Iheanacho, and I don't agree because it's unfair. He's a young player coming through. People argue Rashford's done it in crucial games.
Yeah,
against Arsenal, against Man City, against those tiny teams.
Iheanacho's won plenty of games for us.
Harry, what you saying there, mate? Harry, what you saying?
Iheanacho scored a few last-minute winners for us, I remember.
He
brought on off the bench and scored a few last-minute winners.
I would say, Harry, I don't know if you agree, that, and I think Stephen shares this opinion, that Iheanacho did well last season in spite of Pellegrini, not because of him. It seemed like, we had Wilfred Boney.
Exactly the same with Rashford.
Do you reckon? Yeah, two managers that didn't seem to want to treat him well.
He treated him well.
Well, Pellegrini, I don't think did treat Kelechi well because he had Wilfred Boney, and I think a lot of his reputation lay on the fact that Wilfred Boney was his signing, and Pellegrini was playing with a lot of Mancini signings.
Football, isn't it?
The spine of the team was a company team. It was a Mancini team. Company. I wish it was a company team.
Breaking news. Company was secret manager.
Is far away in hospital. But with Company, Yaya, Aguero, Silva, these are all still his best players, arguably. And he's felt. How did you? I don't want to talk about this too much, but how did you feel seeing Boney being played against Kelechi last season, ahead of Kelechi, I should say?
I understand what he was doing there because you want to prove to the people that you've signed a good player. You don't want him just to go to waste. Yeah. But honestly, sometimes when he brought on Boney and everybody was just crying out for Iheanacho, it's just a bit of a joke.
Everybody in the stadium could see that it was ridiculous, couldn't they? It just seemed to be Pellegrini who couldn't. But so hopefully now with this manager, with Guardiola, who's known for bringing in youth, Kelechi will thrive. What about Rashford under your manager? What's his reputation like for youth?
People say that Jose Mourinho has a bad reputation for youth, but remember his press conference at the start where he said how many players he's got. Although I do agree,
someone spilt water on it so he couldn't read it.
I do agree. I do agree that it's a little bit of nonsense, but Harry, cheers for joining us on Skype there, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, lad.
Cheers.
And if you want to join us on Skype as well, give us a call on Manchester.
The next one's going to be a red.
Derby. Yeah, we've got to get a United fan on there.
Mourinho had genuinely that list of the young players he had. Arjen Robben was on there. He'd played for Holland and had 126 professional appearances who he'd signed for
Can
Chelsea.
we forget that? I think it's a fair worry with Jose Mourinho in terms of the youth. I think he does give youth a chance. I think the likes of Rashford, Martial,
think of the children.
Rashford, Martial, they've already shown how good they are, and I think like with Zuma, I think he saw Zuma and he thought, this kid can do it now. And I think that's the big thing with him. He doesn't like to give them time. But then now he's at a club where will allow him to give those players time.
That's exactly.
So hopefully we can bring that
he's
side. I'm worried by. I am genuinely worried by that.
People saying
he'll be given time though. Do you think if your manager? This is an interesting point. Very quickly. Do you think if you drop out the top 4 this season? Do you think that your manager
we won't drop out of the top 4.
We won't drop out of the top 4.
And Rashford will be given time simply because he's so good.
If you weren't in the top 4, do you think he'd get sacked?
Not this season.
Yeah,
not this season.
Yeah. I think he would. I think after
not this season.
I don't think Guardiola would. Get
Same with Guardiola. He wouldn't get sacked. I think United don't want to be seen as a sacking club.
The reputation.
Imagine that we finish 5th and 6th.
Just
as long as it's
as long as we're above,
Actually, no. 5th Europa League, you can have that. That's
the last. What the point that you were making then about Jose Mourinho being bad with youth. I think that he's never really, sort of like what McCullough was saying then, he's never actually been at a club where he's had this sort of youth. He's never had.
Chelsea's got the best youth academy in the country.
They haven't got the best. They've got one of the best.
They won the UEFA.
Nah, he's right.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. No, that's fair enough. But they don't know. That's fair enough. But he's never had players who have done it, proven it in the Premier League already.
You have to give him a chance.
Well, you can't.
Yes,
how can a young player be proven in the Premier League?
Quote. He said a young player only needs 10 minutes. And now imagine being 18 years old and you get told you've got 10 minutes on your debut to prove you're good enough. That is absolute nonsense. That is excuses for a bad reputation.
But then
Mourinho's a great manager, but that is his biggest weak point. And I think the fact that Rashford's already there is the reason he'll get a chance, because he's there. If he hadn't played yet, he would not play.
I think that he's going to be a bit different. Now he's come to Manchester United. I do think as well there were certain sort of guidelines that he's maybe got to follow a little bit. You can see it already, the way he's been a bit more calmer, and he hasn't really... he hasn't been sniping at opposition managers apart from Wenger as much as he usually does. And he's already come out and said, so many academy products, he's already gone out and named them, as Tuanzebe, a particular one. And I do think that he's going to get a game as well. I think that's the reason that he hasn't gone out and got another.
We were bad at it as well last year, to be honest. We got a very good academy. I go to the games and I was so frustrated watching them bring on like Demichelis when we're 3-0 up and you've got a young lad sat on the bench doing nothing. Yeah. You bring on a centre-back. It's been terrible. And thankfully this year Guardiola has already given like a young man that he's debuting in the Champions League. He's already got like some Maffeo and so on involved, and I do think we'll see a bit more.
They're there and thereabouts, the young players, and it doesn't just look like he's doing it just to keep people happy, which is what you got the feeling of with Pellegrini.
Should we go on to another question?
Yeah, no, I'll tell you what we'll do.
Can I just say, people got worries about Jose's youth development. He just spent 100 mil on one of our youth players, so... He's clearly got faith in them.
The best thing in the world is the best thing in the world is that Paul Pogba is classed as a homegrown player. I cannot believe that. That's fantastic.
Signed him in the half sold him at
guys, do I get in the YouTube comments, see what people are saying? What are they saying for you, Sods?
I'll jump in. Somebody is saying that Chelsea's youth team is crazy good. They have
he's right.
Serious talent. I mean, it's correct me if I'm wrong. Chelsea and City are seen as having
the two best at younger levels. Yeah, United have been very good on 21s levels, but from under 18s downwards, they just sweep up.
I think that's partly because of the way our setup is. Last season, like you'll see, Marcus Rashford only played twice for our under 21s, but it was a case of that. A lot of our 18s got moved to our 21s into the first team. We haven't really didn't have the setup there, but I think we're starting to sort that out now. We brought in the guy from Spurs, Kieran McKenna, who's a young, highly thought of coach. We're changing things. We've got new scouts and stuff like that. So hopefully it's a sign that our youth, because City did pull away from us in terms of their setup. Because what they did was they didn't have everything there, but they built it so that when Pep Guardiola comes in, it was ready.
Like City, United, I'm not just saying this to be British, genuinely true, United did rest on the laurels a little bit for years. The reputation got them all the best young players, and then City built this incredible new complex. They got all this great links with the schools. They helped the parents with their kids in terms of accommodation. They've got even places for the players to live there. So they put a lot of money into investing in the youth setup, because they knew that there was maybe a little bit of rest on laurels, because Ferguson used to pretty much deal with all the youth stuff himself. He used to get involved with the parents. He used to speak to them all. And as soon as he left, there was a vacuum there.
Football's changed though.
Yeah, and now United they'll catch up again. Of course they will, because United have got.
There's a thing about resting on laurels which big clubs can do. Obviously one of the biggest.
It's why Apple
is
getting Microsoft, isn't it now? Because Microsoft resting on laurels years now. Apple are like just coming up.
Yeah, and I think you can get away with it for a while. One of the things which I always said about last season was that you could afford to finish 5th last season because you've got that pedigree. Whereas City, our reputation as being sort of an up and coming sort of new kid on the block in terms of Champions League, we need to be there every season, because I think 1 season or 2 seasons out of it, and everyone forgets about you like that.
My favourite thing about City is that every new player.
What's Gazzy's favourite thing about City?
My favourite thing about City is that firstly, actually, my favourite thing about City is inflatable bananas, because I'm sorry, but that is just absolutely tragic.
Do you know where that came from? What? A player called Imre Varadi, and the City fans couldn't say it, so they went Imre Banana.
State. All of the GCSE spell fudge, genuinely City fans. But anyway, I cannot remember the original point that I was going to make then. But that was it. Favourite thing about City at the minute. Every single new player that they sign, they always come in and they say the same things. Oh yeah, it's good. It's a really exciting project. Not a football club, a project.
Yeah. It's a pretentious word, isn't it?
We're a pretentious club now.
No, it's not that. No, it's not that.
Pretentious manager in the business.
I just think it's offensive that I understand.
It took a year out to go to the New York art scene.
I understand. I understand that Man United aren't what you'd call a proper football club anymore. You know, I think even United fans are saying that we're a business. We're a business. That's
How
all
many
we
new
are.
partners have you got?
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. All we are.
You're the tractor.
Football is a business, Dan.
All
I
we
think,
are is a business.
I think ultimately City fans are starting to learn now that you have to be a business.
Yeah.
You have to be commercially successful to succeed in this world. But talk about youth as well. I know our youth hasn't been amazing over the last few years, and it can improve. But the talent is most definitely there, and the talent is definitely coming through.
Yeah.
And we have given players opportunities, which, although Chelsea have had great youth and City have in the last few years,
don't give them a
not
chance.
many people have been given opportunities. So
Ferguson
ultimately,
was the master. I hate saying it because obviously of Stones.
but Louis did it as well.
Ferguson was great at making like people like Danny Higginbotham useful. You know, just useful. You don't have to be a world-class player as a youngster. You have to just be able to come in and do a job and take some pressure off the senior players. And the likes of like Evans did that and then became a first-team player for a while. Like, you don't have to be world-class to be useful. Fernando isn't world-class. Navas isn't world-class, but they can be useful when you need to rest a player. Why can't that be one of any of our kids from, you know, Stockport or Salemore or wherever? So
Navas is wank. Read out some more comments. I'm sorry, but Navas is crap. Navas is crap.
He's one of those crap functional players.
We got a call!
Right, let's get a Skype caller in.
Is he a United fan?
He's got a red sofa in the background, so I'm going to guess.
Where is he? It's Memphis!
It's coming.
Is it?
I think we've got a call from Memphis Depay.
It's Memphis Depay.
He's certainly not anywhere.
Oh, we can't see him. We can't see him, but
Hey!
Are you hearing anything?
Farman.
Are you hearing anything?
hello, are you there, mate?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I can hear you, mate.
Hey!
Right, pal.
Good man.
What? Are you a red? You're a red United fan. What was the point that you wanted to make then today, pal? Saying you've not spoken about Kevin De Bruyne yet.
No, Kevin. Do you know what Kevin De Bruyne so far this season? I think the end of last season he was a phenomenon. He was carried us through a few Champions League games. This season he's been a little bit quiet, but I think it's just because
quietly
they've been
effective, I'd say, though.
not bad. But I think players like Sterling have been taking the limelight at City, and Xavi Silva's been on form as well. Aguero's been scoring.
I've seen De Bruyne actually do more of a job for the team. He's actually been tracking back, and I've seen him cover at right back and so on. And I think he's adapting to be a more around player, not necessarily the one who gets the decisive goal or decisive assist, but now it's going to be more of a midfielder because I think that's what Pep wants from him.
Yeah, well, everyone's got to work hard, as we know, in this City team as well. So it's not all about attacking play necessarily. Do you think that Kevin De Bruyne is the biggest threat to you tomorrow in the derby? Yeah.
And who should we have to deal with him then? There, I mean, we obviously have Fellaini and Pogba in the two centre midfield positions. Are they the two players you want to see stuck on De Bruyne?
Yeah, absolutely. But normally he gets the crosses in from the right as well. So I think Luke Shaw with the space also might get on him a bit.
Yeah, good point.
Luke Shaw's had a good start to the season as well, hasn't he?
Luke Shaw this season.
He's been strong.
Even last season, Luke Shaw had a great start to the season. I remember when we were in Eindhoven, said it to producer Chris, and we were chatting with Webby as well on the way out, that we've lost today, but the biggest loss feels like Luke Shaw. Because I felt like, in a weird way, like he was our best player all season and he brought the best out of the team. Like his runs down that left flank even brought the best out of Memphis. So hopefully he can keep, because he had a little, I don't know what's happened with the England side. They seem to
He's going to be okay. Luke Shaw's going to start. He put on his Instagram yesterday, Derby Day, can't wait.
Big Sam with his 18th century training methods. Right lads, 10 laps.
Press ups for every corner.
I think they should get Guardiola and Allardyce in a room and just get them to discuss training techniques.
Apparently, like Allardyce is meant to be like one of those kind of sports science boffins. He's meant to have done quite a lot, but then he comes out with quotes like the Rooney thing, and then he just discredits his old reputation just like that.
I think that quote, I don't think there was anything wrong with that quote.
Saying he can't tell a player where to play.
No, he did. Did he exactly say that? I thought he meant like I gave him a free role.
There might have been context to it that we didn't pick. Maybe he was.
No, he said that.
Mate, Farman, sorry, mate.
I know you're just
talking about Big Sam.
Let's bring it back to you. Luke, if you had Luke Shaw in your team last season, all the way through, you'd have finished above us, wouldn't you? Because he was definitely worth a point.
Oh yeah, it was worth a point. Yeah.
I would guess if we had a company, I guess as well.
No, it's true. But I do think that he's a strong player for you to come back for you. And
my auntie had a dick. She'd be my uncle, my dad.
What did you say?
I was about to say my auntie had a dick. These lot are saying buts and ifs.
Yeah,
Mate, thank you.
Philosophy there.
Thanks for joining us on Skype
Was
today,
that
pal.
Aristotle who said that? I think?
Cheers, mate.
Yeah. No, Gandhi.
Guys, you can get us in Skype. You get us on Skype at Manchester Derby. Give us a call there.
Yeah,
and
that's
you
for
can
both
speak
of the
to
channels,
us. I don't know why you'd want to speak to either of us. Get on the YouTube comments as well.
These guys are already calling in.
For these guys, get on the YouTube comments for us as well. On Twitter at Fulltime Devils.
I love the guys that just keep calling in, even though someone's speaking. Like they're like, I can see someone on the screen, but fuck it, I'm gonna keep calling in.
You can tweet these guys and send them loads of abuse if you want. If you're a United fan at BMR Rising TV, back at us if you're a City fan as well. What are the comments saying in YouTube?
Let's have a look here. Let the bloody guest speak. Jesus Christ is one of the comments. Jesus Christ is one of the guests. Wow. Which is a good point. So for this one, we'll make sure we don't speak too much. Oh, Clark Kent there, ripping off the glasses.
How you doing, guys?
How's it going, mate? You okay?
What's your name, mate, and who do you support?
I'm
and where
good,
you from?
yeah.
He's got a nice smooth chest, hasn't he?
He has, hasn't he?
Stop it in your hairy chest, Adam.
End the video. What's your name, mate, and where are you from and who do you support?
Alex, and I live in France.
Okay, who's your team? Blues?
Man United, of course.
Oh, not
He's got his France shirt on. That's obviously what's happened there. I'm guessing if you're in France as well, you're pretty buzzed. We've spoke before, haven't we, mate? I feel like we spoke before in a video.
Yeah, on the Pogba.
Definitely. So, ecstatic at the United French connection at the minute then, yeah?
Yeah. I watched the France-Italy game, and Pogba and Martial were just on fire.
What do you think of Martial this season then? I think that for United, there are plenty of fans saying that he's been quite disappointing. But would you really take him at the team for someone like Rashford?
I was surprised he started against Italy. But I think the fact that he scored a goal against Italy would give him a boost in confidence, and so I think he deserves to start in the derby. I think Rashford should play on the right.
I was going to ask where you think Rashford should
but I
play.
wouldn't start Rashford.
Okay. Who would you start then?
I'd probably bring him in the last.
Stick with Mata?
Yeah. Or even play Lingard if he's fit. I don't know if he's fit enough yet, but...
We just, these guys are laughing at a YouTube comment, and I'm not sure whether I want to ask what it was.
It was about your mum, guys.
It wasn't about you, don't worry.
About your mum.
Just looking about the French connection then, while we're on that subject. City's two of City's fullbacks, Clichy and Sagna. Sagna had a great Euros, didn't he? And despite his age.
Great. Yeah, Euros.
Ludovic Sagna had a great
I wouldn't say great Euros, but he did the job.
You wouldn't say great Euros.
You wouldn't say great. Would you say Pogba had a great Euros then?
Better than Sagna.
I thought Sagna every time I saw Sagna, I thought he was class.
Thank you very much.
I thought he just got the job done. He was just getting assists with crosses in. I think he was named in as one of the players of the tournament.
Yeah, he was.
Actually.
But,
so I discount your opinion.
They asked you a question just to argue with you. So
we're gonna
forget them.
Right.
What about Antoine Griezmann? Do you think he could join this next summer?
The thing is, no one cares about international football.
That's
okay.
Guys, you lot short. We're talking about United now with our United fan here in France.
Okay.
What was the question you asked, McCall?
Antoine Griezmann, apparently Schneiderlin and Martial and Pogba are being used to tap him up.
All tapping him on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Come on.
They were like, come on, Antoine. Come on, you know you want
United
to.
are trying to sign the whole French team.
Yeah, I mean, is that a bad thing really, signing that many players from one nationality? I mean, you can work together.
Yeah, because I remember either last season or the season before, they were trying to sign Varane. There's Uncle Pat used to be there. So Griezmann would be a great addition, but then where would you play him, and who would you take out of the team?
Yeah, I think that he'd probably play in the hole, to be honest, if he joined, replacing Wayne Rooney.
But then where would you play Mickey T?
Exactly, mate. Exactly.
I think Mickey T can play on a wider right position. He did it for Dortmund, and because Dortmund didn't play at number 10, he was able to drift into the middle, and he looked a lot more comfortable there. But the problem is, like we saw against Hull, every time I talk about Wayne Rooney, I feel like I'm just throwing shade on him, but it's just how I feel at the moment. Like with Wayne Rooney in that position, like against Hull, we just seem to have too many cooks in there.
Why, in your opinion, mate, is Wayne Rooney apparently undroppable? Like, why? Because he seems to be like he is, isn't he? No one seems to be able to just admit what's
he's the captain.
In the face.
It's like when you play football and the captain is like the manager's kid. and like he won't get dropped.
I'm sure it's very funny. I can
Like, he just can't get dropped.
Said Rooney's
And I think
Jose's
that's
kid.
kind of the same thing with Wayne Rooney.
Sorry, mate. Sorry, these guys. Stop interrupting him.
I think there's a great. I think there is a point in that, but I think unlike Louis van Gaal, I think Jose may get a bit pissed off after a bit.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us on Skype today, anyway, mate. Thanks for that.
What's your prediction, bro?
Okay. 2-1.
To who and who's scoring?
United, and I would say Zlatan overhead kick and an Eric Bailey header.
I would absolutely cream my pants if that happened.
What did he say he's going?
Overhead kick.
It's gonna bloody happen.
Sanya's not doing that though.
I like him in his chest.
Alright, mate. Thanks for your call.
Yeah, Sanya won't
Keep
do
getting
that,
in the
mate.
YouTube comments. I think that everyone.
Sanya overhead kick. You heard it here first as well. Just
It's
to
off
spite him.
Zlatan's face. I want a Zlatan on goal.
Are there any other big? So, shall we move on to the Rashford versus?
We've kind of
We've talked about that. I think that now we've got to talk about. I think that let's get everyone in the comments as well for this. United fans, City fans. We're going to get the best comments. What is your favourite Manchester derby memory? Sod it. I'm going to start with you two. Tell us. Get it over and done with.
Been 10.
So it's going to be this. It's going to be the 6-1 don't count because we scored the best goal in that game, so we won it.
It's not a derby memory, but I'm going to say my favourite memory is the moment when Alex Ferguson realised he'd been knocked off the perch when he was there.
Wait, what?
When he was on it.
How many times? Do you have 21 titles all of a sudden? When did that happen?
Well, he said not in my lifetime. He said, and he was sat there on the pitch. Phil Jones, looking like the gormless freak that he is, stood there.
Hold on, that's
like that.
Phil Jones's resting face.
And the Sunderland game when we realised Aguero had scored that moment. To me, that was bigger than any derby.
My
That was
favourite.
the reason we realised, you know what, we're not a small club anymore.
No, you know what? My favourite
was
thing.
great.
My favourite thing about what you've just said there is Alex Ferguson really sort of coined that term, knocking them off their perch, and he used it in a footballing sense, and he used it to describe having more league titles in Liverpool. That is the definition of being a big club. You've just used it because you won your 3rd league title, equaling Huddersfield.
Yeah, but as Stephen says, it was noisy neighbours was the thing.
He said, "Not in my lifetime" was the word he said.
Yeah, and also, what did you make?
still alive.
He said about putting up that when we put the banner for Tevez that it was small time. How do you feel about the Pogba one?
Which Pogba one? We
one
didn't
that
put that
was-
up.
Yeah,
There's that one that was done by a betting
Zlatan.
company.
We didn't put it up.
But
United fans
Adidas.
Didn't put it up.
Manchester City paid for your one.
It was
Manchester United did not pay for it. No, they didn't.
Of course they did.
They
It's their
didn't.
intellectual property. They have every.
No,
they were
it's
definitely
not.
involved in it.
A picture of
Get a
Zlatan.
bit closer to me, mate.
A picture of Zlatan. No, mate. United never had anything to do with that, and the guys even come out with it and said it.
They didn't wake up and be like, "Oh, what's that? What have they done? Oh, okay, cool." Of course they did. It was going.
Trust me, if United did it, they'd have Chevrolet logos on it. They'd have every sort of logo on it.
Nissan noodles at the bottom.
So it was definitely not United.
Noodles there. People are commenting with their favourite derby moments. When Gary Neville fed the goat, that
Can
was
you check?
obviously
Because it looks
classic.
rude because I'm at the front.
Yeah, it's interesting, obviously, because those wins in the 90s that we were getting against you,
We were naff as well.
They meant a lot because we were so crap. And it was like almost. I remember there was times when we'd beat you, we'd get the double over you, and you'd win the league. And it was like, it was just getting that, you know,
Yeah, that happened.
that give us that little thing, a little bit of pride for Manchester, basically.
Do you know what? We were there when we were shit. And all the fans have come to our ground and say, "Where were you when we were shit?" And they're like, "We were here."
All right, no, it's fair enough saying that to a lot of you guys. You know, that is fair enough. But can I say to any single City fan who is watching this, who started supporting Manchester City after 2008, you should hang your own head in shame.
What if they were born in 2006?
Unless obviously you were born after the year. Let's say 2000.
But Manchester United fans who supported them in that time as well, that's fine.
I disagree. You know what? Yeah, this is something that I've kind of like when I was younger. I used to think like I'm going off topic. We'll come back to moment. I used to think like,
we'll take a seat.
They don't go games or they're not proper fans. I used to think that, and I don't think that because I think you can fall in love with a club in many different ways, and I think our connections to clubs. Mine comes from my parents and my family. Yours would probably do the same. But people at home, they find links to football in various different ways. Do you know what I mean?
Oh no, I'm not saying.
So I think like, although it's completely different.
No, I'm fully not saying that anyone who isn't in the location of Manchester can't support them. What I'm saying is that how come they've all of a sudden started now? It's the success.
It's marketing and commerciality.
Well, this is the thing though. You've been slagging us off for that for years. You've been slagging us off for years.
Yes, we have.
You've been saying that we're like
get any victory you can. But the thing
We
is,
don't have
like,
anything else to say.
that's the only victory we're going to get.
Well, they admit it at
against
least.
But the thing, like, all right, when you say to us, no fans, it's like, well, why have we got no fans? Because we've not got as many fans in Singapore, or we've not got as many, you know. We went to Australia last season for the pre-season, and you know what? You can go there cynical, but when you see it, you can't really be cynical anymore because you see the passion they've got. They get up at ridiculous times in the middle of the night, and they put more
Worse
into
than
it than
Ben,
most of
aren't
us
we,
do.
Yeah, they do.
And they're less
Yeah, they do.
cynical. And something that is annoying about English football and English fans is how cynical we are.
Yeah.
Everything is.
We're
who can be the
miserable
most
Moody
power?
about everything.
Moody, yeah. I'm not.
Shut
It's
that.
because everything's shit.
Shite
That's
that.
why.
Shite that.
Everything.
I think
Shut
we're
that.
going to possibly bring a caller in. Is that in a couple of
minutes.
minute
Oh,
or so?
wait,
Yeah.
Carry on with memories. Go on.
Best
Who's
derby
memory?
memories.
Derby memories.
One quick thing, overseas fans, genuinely, you're all awesome. We all do.
I'm a fan of
People
Man
in
City from
America.
Singapore. That's from Ryan.
Good on you, mate,
Leonhardt,
because
which is-
you will be up at 3 in the morning.
And also, I remember one pre-season tour. I woke up in the morning about 3 o'clock for a United versus Liverpool game, and I was tweeting for the full-time Devil account.
Yeah.
I KO'd halfway through the game. Yeah. Woke up about
stamina.
an hour after kickoff, like an hour after full time, like tweeting, pretending I didn't miss a thing. So you know what? Well done, guys.
We've had one City fan's best derby moment. Then what's yours, Mikola?
My earliest one was 5-0. Kanchelskis hat-trick.
Oh, I remember the game.
That was one of my earliest memories
Sad.
and one of the earliest ones I was at and I can remember being at. But my favourite derby memory has to be 4-3.
I knew you were going to say that. but
Because everything about that day for me was
What
amazing.
game that was,
We
though?
came to the ground. It was so hot outside. City had I think that season they finished in the Europa League spots, but they had just been taken over, so we knew, right, City were on their way now. They'd bought Tevez off us. We were burning an Argentina shirt outside the Blaze with Tevez on the back. Everyone was singing, dancing. The weather was beautiful. Like, everything about that game
Good
was
old
perfect.
ritual burning.
And in the game, we go in front 3 times. They peg back 3 times. Bellamy's goal. I remember I was sat in the
that was a
Stretford
hell of a
end.
goal,
I was sat in the Stretford end in the lower stand, so I seen it, like the weight. It was amazing
I
goal.
wish he was playing tomorrow.
And then like you think,
Plays like in the derbies.
3-3, we've dropped 2 points, and then Owen pops up. And it's like, if you were to write a script for how you wanted the derby to go tomorrow,
That would be
it would
No, that
be
it.
like that. And I think the whole day was just amazing.
Let's go on to Skype then now and chat to someone there. Hello, mate. How's it going? You there?
What's his name? The gentleman's name?
Hello.
Hey, how you guys doing?
How's it going, pal? What's your name?
Ah,
Hey!
We know who we support. We can't see his
you
face.
can't
but we
move. Like rats, aren't they, this lot? They're everywhere.
All United fans, they're mugs.
Mugs, mate.
What's your name, pal?
You guys need to move your stuff over here. There we go.
We've got a
Right
City
there.
fan who took the City
Alright.
ball.
What's your name, pal? Sorry.
Disconnect that.
My name's Rhett, and I'm calling you guys from St. Louis, Missouri, in the U.S.
Ace, nice one, mate. So, what's your favourite Manchester derby memory? Would you say?
Well, there's a lot of them, but last year's goal, Rashford scoring the goal for the 1-0 victory is a pretty good one. I like that one myself.
I think that it's perfectly understandable for a lot of United or City fans for their favourite derby memories to have been ones of the past in recent years, since City have become the level that they're getting to now, and United obviously
You
always been
expected
at that
to be
level.
years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
And now it's just that it's pretty. The stakes are higher. The stakes have never been as high as tomorrow. Obviously.
That game, I think in itself was a bit of a crap game, but obviously the narrative of Rashford and Mank lad, I don't know why I'm saying this, it should be Gaz saying it, but him scoring the goal, obviously, was it that made it so appealing to you, the fact it was a local lad, young lad scoring, at the Etihad as well?
Well, I like that. Of course, the overhead bicycle kick by Rooney is a phenomenal goal, and that might be the most my favorite moment.
Off his shin
But
as well.
Really,
Fantastic
Just
control.
Shut up. You know what he's just said then? He's just gone, he shinned it.
Well, he did.
He did.
I mean,
He literally did.
It's funny, you can see posters of it,
Okay,
where it's literally
shinned it.
coming off his shin, which is, I mean, yeah.
goal,
Go on, mate, what other
Good
point
goal.
did you want to make there?
Really, the point is that here in the U.S. we are so excited and so pumped up. We'll be at the bar tomorrow at 6:30 in the morning watching the match.
Nice.
Because I mean, you have 2 of the greatest managers in the world. You have 2 of the greatest. I wish Aguero was playing, quite frankly, because when City loses, they're going to really have a lot of excuses.
Exactly.
And we don't want that.
You're right. You're completely right. You're completely right. And then you can see it. As soon as Aguero did that elbow, I turned around to my City fan mate and I just went, "There's your excuse for you losing the derby." And that is what's going to happen. I can guarantee it. You know it.
No. It's all right. Fellaini's going to get sent off by elbowing somebody anyway. So
I hope Fellaini elbows someone and nothing happens.
it'll all be levelled out like that. Anyway, all right, thanks for your call. Enjoy the game. Well, don't enjoy it too much, but anyway.
Enjoy the game, mate.
Thank you, mate.
Yeah, Fellaini, you know what? If it was my perfect scenario tomorrow, just to wind up all the City fans, I hope Fellaini elbows 2 of your players on the way to scoring an offside goal with his
Off
fist.
his arse.
With his fist, mate.
Zabba 2-footed revenge
Fellaini is a United player all over, isn't he? It's funny
how he get so unsportsmanlike.
It's funny how he's become like quite a good, like, integral part of your team at the start of this season, because he is a massive dick and he's not a very good footballer. But I guess he's functional and he's aggressive, and I guess you kind of need.
I think he's not
a terrible footballer, obviously.
I don't think he's. He
is a pub, put it that way.
Yeah. He has been a permanent fixture for us so far,
but
I don't think he'll be.
You hated him last season, though, didn't you?
I think we hated the whole team last season.
Yeah.
No, but I think
public enemy for a lot of United fans.
I think a lot of the criticism he gets is unfair, and I think I've been as guilty of it at times as anyone else. But I think at the end of last season, I wasn't criticising him. I was saying he should start in the FA Cup final. You were saying he should die and all that. And so, like, you know, I kind of like did see the best out of him in the end, unlike this guy.
Paul, what's your favourite Manchester derby memory? You've not given yours yet.
Well, it's funny because the 6-1 was
why that was me.
No, it was full of iconic City moments. But funnily enough, at the end of that same season, we beat you 1-0, and that basically sealed us almost winning the league, which was so. Although that was a company scoring a bullet header at home. We only won 1-0, but I didn't see you scoring at any point against us. I didn't feel like you were offering anything. That was when we were at our very best in terms of just
it was
at a point when it felt like you go into a derby and you felt confident as well.
Yeah, it's weird.
Which I've not had that feeling for a few years now. Yeah. Let's just say, by the way, this is, I think, a really important point. The derbies, I think you've done better than us over the last couple of seasons in general in the derbies, but they've been poor. And I think now, rubbish. Like, you go into them and it was just negative football. The one at the Etihad that you won was crap. Neither team doing anything. It was all in the middle of the park.
They never crap when you win. But, come on, guys.
Okay, yeah, that's true. But from a neutral perspective, nobody probably really enjoyed.
I think everyone's building this game up way too much tomorrow. I'm really excited for it. It's like us, like doing hour-long shows and shit.
That it's just going to be.
I think like it's so early. It's so early in the season that I think they kind of could just cancel each other out. I don't think the managers will really be at it yet. And I think it could be one of them where it just turns out to be a 0-0. Yeah. That's why when I'm predicting, I'm saying 1-0.
Guys, keep your YouTube comments coming in.
Can you also hit that like button? Because if we don't get over 1,000, how many likes do we need to keep Gaz on the show?
To keep Gaz alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, to keep me alive.
Just hit as many likes as possible.
So make sure you hit the dislike button, guys.
We need 10,000 likes to save
10,000 what? There's a guillotine literally behind the camera ready for me.
And on our stream, if you hit dislike, we'll execute him on screen.
No.
Do it.
You don't want people to dislike your video.
No, that's true. I don't know. The opposite way around.
Right. YouTube creator, content producer here, Paul Walsh, encouraging dislikes live on air. Nice one, mate.
Okay.
Right. You know what?
If you think
you know what?
Hit like.
I'm gonna give my favourite Manchester derby memory, since none of you rude sods have asked me.
Because you don't shut your mouth.
That's a good point, to be fair. There's a couple. The Van Persie one recently with the last-minute free kick was absolutely unreal. Now that game, I was watching it at my gaff, and I had some work. I had work to do like straight after the game, and I was thinking I'm going to miss the last 5 minutes, gutted. But it was 2-0 United. We looked all right. And then City came back into it 2-2, and you were all over us with it. And I was like, I think so. But Zabaleta scored, I think.
No, Zabba kind of went to midfield and he was everywhere. And Aguero scored the goal when he kind of deflected shot and Van der Sar spilled it.
Anyway, so Van der Sar wasn't. Oh yeah,
it was David De Gea. No, it was David De Gea.
David De Gea spilling it.
Van der Sar had gone.
Easy mistake.
But anyway, so it was 2-2, and 5 minutes to go. I'm like, I need to go to work. My dad was giving me a lift. driving on the way to work, stopped off at a petrol station on the way there, and he's gone in to get petrol, and I'm sat there in the car, and I'm like, don't turn the radio on. Don't do it. I can't do it to myself. Turned it on. United have a free kick on the edge of the box. No joke, I ran round the petrol station. My dad ran outside, just ripped his shirt off, running round this petrol station.
What does football do to
the best ever memory.
Footballers made me kiss so many men and like do so many things, like guys hugging you with sweat all over your face. And
is this McCullough's confession?
We're gonna do some good things in United in the derby. We're gonna make some magic, mate.
Bring the rubbers.
It's too early to talk about that in the day. Right, guys, I think we're going to possibly look at bringing in somebody else in a second. What are the main talking points now? What have we got left to discuss? Predictions, yeah. Okay.
Should we get onto that?
Let's hear. You know what? I know what me and him are probably going to say, but let's hear what you two have to say, because I don't think I've heard your predictions.
I know what Stephen's.
I think it's going to be a draw. I honestly do. I think it's going to be a massive stalemate. I know that's not what anyone wants to hear, but I think they're going to cancel each other out. I think in general, United will be organised, they'll be efficient, they'll probably score through, because Mourinho will find a way to get at our weak points, which is probably our fullbacks at the moment. You'll find a way, and I reckon someone like Fellaini will probably take advantage. But then I do think we'll probably have more of the ball. I think we'll find a way as well to score. And so I think it'll be 1-1. I just think it'll be two teams cancel each other out with slightly different, with maybe more possession for City. But in general, it'll be early season stalemate as both teams look to feel each other out, kind of thing.
Same, Paul.
I'm saying 3-1 City because the reason I'm saying that is because I think we might nick a lead. And I then think Jose is probably going to leave some gaps at the back, and we might nick another one. But we've not. Yeah.
Hold on, 1 minute. I need to address something here that's really pissed me off. Roger and Cozy on Twitter has just said we're all racist.
What?
Because people are calling in, and we've not answered anyone of an ethnic minority's call. Can I just say, yeah? These calls are completely random, yeah. We've had one come in with a thumbnail of a super.
Is that genuine?
Oh, no, yeah, it is, and it's pissed me off. Like, I'm really got riled up here. Listen, like, we've had people calling in with avatars of Super Saiyans.
Yeah, so
of all sorts. We don't know who's going to be on the side of that screen until we answer the call.
Are you racist to Super Saiyan though?
We've even been speaking to City fans.
We've got two ethnic minorities right here. Me and him, two gingers. So shut up.
We are a dying breed.
Sorry to interrupt you. It's got me like my blood boiling and shit.
To keep the gingers alive.
Prediction, guys.
Keep calling in, guys. Keep calling in.
Get in the YouTube comments. Tell me
not if you're Super Saiyan though.
Tell me your predictions for the game. What's your prediction, Adam?
That's pissed me off.
Oh, come on, shut up. Get over it. Some clowns.
Some people here are saying
1-0 Zlatan. 1-0 Rashford.
Right, I'm having 1-0 Zlatan there now you've done that.
Do you think late goal Rashford will come on late, or do you think?
I think it's kind of really stupid thing. It's either going to be an early goal and someone sits on it, or it's really boring and then the end just last 10 minutes are amazing.
Your games so far, I've watched I think all your games, and it has basically just been you attacking all the way through the game, really, hasn't it? Most teams seem to have set up shot.
Do you guys think you'll play without a striker?
It's possible. I mean, so the thing is,
because that will depend how we play them, won't it? Like,
well, yeah. So obviously he did it at Barcelona, but he had a little guy called Messi around. He was pretty decent at playing that false nine. Yeah, no, it's like, well, I do watch a bit of European football, so I'm keep up to date on this stuff. and then he was all right at playing that false nine position. Whereas City, I mean, he's given Nolito, who's traditionally a winger, the number 9 shirt. So it's Silva does it for Spain. Yep. Nolito could do it. We've got Kelechi. I think the good thing is about Guardiola's City is that it's fluid and it will adapt to how the game
whatever
the last thing you possibly expect.
Yeah, he'll do what everyone normal manager do. Pep would be like, no.
Yeah,
he's the ultimate hitster.
See, now that it sounds good on paper, and you know he's going to pull out things that no one expects. It's going to be really good. But Louis Van Gaal did things like this last season. That's all I'm saying. And the year before.
You're going to have Ibrahimovic up front scoring a header. Even if we know
we'll have Kolarov playing left wing. Like Navas in the libero role, and then like bloody Demichelis will come.
Brian Kidd's going to come on and score a bullet header.
I do wish this game was at the end of the season though. Like.
Yeah, when's the next time?
There is no one, you know.
No, I know that's at the Etihad.
Yeah.
Like, you know, away tickets for United fans are like
somebody has said in the comments actually before. I've forgotten his name. Somebody comments quite regularly on our stuff.
He's not accusing me of being a racist, is
Malcolm.
Don't worry, man.
No, I'm saving all them up. Somebody said, are City looking to have their away game this early on? And we get to play United later on when we've ironed out our
Yes,
play.
I would say so. Actually, I think that because I think
we're not. You're expected to win, really. I guess you've got the
Not expected to win,
fan base
but we really want to win. Like
really want to win.
Really. I love it.
It don't matter anyway because we're going to win 1-0, and I'll tell you why. Zlatan's going to score because I had a dream about it last night.
Really?
So that's what the score's going to be.
Stop saying that, guys.
The last Manchester derby.
Can we get a City fan in next, please?
The last Manchester derby, I did have a dream that we won 2-0, and the goal was scored by a Jigglypuff and H from Steps. So let's get back on to
Hang on.
Speak to
Can we get some Manchester City guys calling in, please? I know it's a strange question for me to ask, but I really feel like picking on someone, so I'm bored of these two now. City
Skype.
fans, get calling in. Manchester derby on Skype.
Anyone who fancies it, get us on there. What are we getting in the messages? Makola, I don't think you should be on messages anymore.
Yeah, I'm getting my blood still boiling.
It gets too wound up. Should we go to a Skype caller? Can we get them there?
Can I just say, Ryan YouTube said
Manchester derby.
no structure in this chat, and I think
Here we are. Right, there's someone here. On Skype. How's it going, mate? You okay? Hello.
Hello, mate. You're live. Can you see us? Can you hear us? No, he's just finished.
Hello.
You
Okay?
He'll be with us in a minute.
He's gone.
All right, never mind.
I don't know what he's doing.
City fans, call in Manchester space derby on Skype and get us on there.
Oh, he's back.
Oh, he's back.
There's a City fan there.
Hey, how's it going, mate? You okay?
Alfie wants to go.
Can we get this
Hello.
City fan next?
Okay, I'm from.
call Alfie next.
What's that, mate? Oh, bad connection. I think we've got.
Okay, I'm from.
I think I can't hear you, mate. It was a bad signal.
Alfie, give us a call.
Alfie, give us a call.
Alfie's been ringing us on Skype. We're going to get one more Skype caller. We're going to try.
Here's
and
a
get
great
City
comment
fan
from Mr.
before we wrap up.
Anti-Functional. Why are people hyping up the match like it's match day? It's tomorrow.
Well, yeah, because it's
What?
Well, tomorrow.
We should have got in.
I'm sorry.
We should have got in at 7 a.m. and done our preview.
No, I'm sorry. I just don't know what world some
Guys,
people live on.
just say we are going to do a live watch along tomorrow. Some of us guys here will be on it as well. I think these will be at the game, but it'll be myself and some of your regulars. I think Squawker Dave's on it actually.
Yeah.
Possibly.
During the game, you'll be able to get all our reactions to the goals as they go in, and it's always a good laugh as well.
They're not going to have any goals to react to. So,
and if it's a boring 0-0, then we'll just do nothing. Okay.
Sit silently.
Like usual.
Right, okay.
and reject all the calls from Super Saiyans.
Can I just say as well, I think people asking why are we hyping this game up, because you can't not. It is Pep and Jose. It's weird. I mean, it is overhyped, I agree, but they're just so magnetic as managers, aren't they? They call attention like no others, and they are the biggest managers in world football. They have got this reputation that follows them everywhere they go, and they will just bring this media circus with them. I think we just have to probably embrace it. Because when was the last time we had this much fun as City United fans? We've not had it for a few years
For
now.
the first time ever, the Manchester derby is the biggest game in world football.
Gaz Drinkwater has just said it. So
That's it. And it is though. But it is though. It is. Name me a bigger game. Say Barca and Real.
You are Squawker Dave.
More people will watch this one.
I believe you that. I definitely think we'll probably have more media coverage across the world.
I know
this
in
game
Spain.
than Glasgow this
I
year.
know in Spain that all the papers are covering it there because obviously
They've been covering it since like last week, haven't they?
Yeah. It's on all the daily newspapers.
Okay, we've got someone on Skype.
We're getting a City fan unless he's gone deep undercover.
City fan coming in at 2 minutes. We think we've got a City fan coming in 2 minutes on Skype.
My comments aren't refreshing. Are you getting any? Does anyone get? Oh, they've just.
We're gonna get him on in a sec. See, we've struggled to find a City fan. There's not that many of them about, but we're gonna get one. Don't worry. I don't know what he's on about. We'll find him.
Gaz, as a United fan, what is, in your opinion, City's biggest weakness?
Your fullbacks. I think that we can really expose them come weekend. I think the whole defence in general, actually. I think if we're putting balls into John Stones, he's going to struggle with the likes of Zlatan, even Kolarov. I don't know who you're going to play at fullback exactly. Is it going to be Sanya?
I think it'll be Sanya.
And on the left, it is
Clichy.
Probably Clichy.
All I'm saying is Marshall and whoever it is that starts on that right hand side, whether it be Rashford, Mata, Mkhitaryan, they can all cause problems as well.
Marshall's had a quiet start to the season.
He's had a quiet start, but he is definitely he's got it. He's a natural talent.
Scored on
I don't like to say,
international
but I really
break
rate him.
Scored for France.
Especially as we all wanted to really laugh at you because you spent loads of money on somebody we've never really heard of. But then he's actually turned out quite good.
And if you were to say the United's biggest weakness?
United's biggest weakness? It's hard to say. I think they don't come. No,
saying it like there's loads.
Because there's so many different.
saying it like there's loads on none at all.
You've not come up against anyone that's taken the game to you yet, and I think that's going to surprise you.
Can I say what you said about City though?
West Ham, Stoke did go for
West
us.
Ham, in theory, I know you've won this season against teams that you lost points to last season, and we've done the same as well. So it's funny here where we seem to be sweeping these teams aside that last season were having problems with both of us. But someone's got to give, I guess, tomorrow, hasn't it? So how important do you think it is, the game tomorrow? Do you think it's as big as everyone's making out?
No. Well, if City win, it don't mean you've won the league. If we win, it don't mean we've won the league. But it's going to be bloody mint if we win. I'll tell you, it's going to be sweet.
Bloody mint.
It's going to be absolutely sweet if we win.
Yeah,
But,
I don't think... I think whatever happens, the team that loses, I think they'll actually motivate them to push on a little bit more. I think we'll see...
He's ready, and he's ready for that defeat. Well, guys, I wanted this to happen because I knew this would push us on.
Yeah. It exposes
I don't think it's that huge of a game.
In many ways, we won the derby.
Mourinho and his evil genius, spin.
I've learned he's nearby.
Go on,
now,
Adam.
so
what are you saying?
I'm sensing his presence.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
Yeah, I don't think it's that big. I think it's a big game, obviously, but I don't think it's that big a game.
The one later on in the season will be the more important one, when it's all built up.
Obviously you'll be trailing by several points behind at that point, so you'll need to get back into it.
Yeah, you'll be fighting for your top 4
can't
place.
wait.
You'll be just behind in 6.
Yeah.
But we've got a decent run after this, so if we can win this one and keep up our 100% record, even if we don't lose this one.
I love that, both 100% so far as well. There's so many layers to this game, isn't it? It's like a beautiful football.
Chelsea would love a draw, wouldn't they?
It's built up perfectly. Right, do we have one more Skype call that we can go to before we wrap up? It's coming in 2 minutes. So we'll wait for the Skype caller, and then we'll wrap up today.
Shall I get some comments on the go?
I think it's interesting. Are we bringing somebody in?
No, we're going to read some comments.
I think it's interesting. I just like the manner in which both teams have won, because we've both got 100%, but it hasn't necessarily been as easy as it maybe sounds. So we beat Sunderland 2-1. I think actually that flattered Sunderland, though, to be fair. But it wasn't on paper; it was an own goal and a penalty.
Well, I think the game against Stoke flattered you.
Yeah.
I
would say your game against Hull, you scored in injury time, and they held you back. Somebody's commented on here about that. Against Bournemouth, they offered nothing. They were crap.
As someone who was at the Stoke game, for me, that was the game we would have drawn last year. We would have definitely. When they went 2-1, we would have bottled that last year. But we actually showed character, and it was
great character.
It was a game where Guardiola was meant to be exposed as this fraud. He couldn't do it, and he really battened down the hatches. He's got his team digging in and playing the kind of football you wouldn't associate with his team. Yeah. But they did it, and they showed a lot of determination. And because we're more organised this year, that's one thing we lacked last year. There used to be massive holes between the midfield and the defence. Players were running behind us for days, constantly. It happened all the time.
Someone's commented just out the blue, just saying my Google Chrome has more history than Manchester City.
And someone else said,
it's not on because they won the League Cup in 1976, guys. Just stop it. It's really not.
Can we
on.
hashtag make fun of Pepe? Make fun of Pep for Harambe.
Making fun of Pep for Harambe.
Do it for Harambe.
Free Harambe.
Pep's out for Harambe.
Cox out for Harambe.
Guys, get your score predictions in. I'm interested to know what you think. By how many goals we're going to beat United tomorrow. All right, are we going to get a Skype caller in?
We may have a City fan.
We may have found the other City fan on the planet.
I can see an eagle and stars.
Here we are.
What are these for, guys? Can we just ask?
Look, that was before. We did that before it became a thing for stars to represent like Champions Leagues or whatever.
We were doing it before. How you doing, mate? You all right?
Can you hear us?
Yeah, good, thanks.
What's your name, pal? Are you getting that sound?
What's your name, mate?
Oh, Alfie.
Alfie, nice one.
Alright,
Alfie. Where are you calling from, mate?
Ipswich,
nice one, pal. So tomorrow, I'm guessing. I'm gonna say I'm guessing, but are you confident for the game tomorrow, or would you take a draw going to Old Trafford against the mighty Reds?
The hard one, because I think I'd take a draw because I'm not that worried about Chelsea really.
Not that worried about. So you think United are our biggest rivals this season?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you at the end of the season, when the next derby comes up, do you think that's one that that we should definitely go for a win for, and on this one you take a draw?
Yeah.
Who do you think who's going to be our man of the match tomorrow? Do you reckon?
I feel like it's going to be battle in the midfield. So either someone like Fernandinho, maybe even David Silva.
Yeah, David Silva seems to be back to his best, doesn't he, as well, which seems to be the story with a lot of City players. Pep's really got a lot of them just firing. And they're scoring for everyone. Like at the international break, we've seen Sterling playing well, we've seen Silva playing well, Nolito playing well. Seems to be just found that fire again a little bit in our bellies.
Yeah, especially in the Spanish. I know they were playing, who was it? Liechtenstein or something.
Yeah.
But 8-0.
You can only beat what's in front of you, can't you? But no, it's
What
great.
score it finished? 8-0?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I think David Silva got 2 or 3.
David Silva scored 2 set ones. Lito got 3 assists, so 6 goals from City.
All right, thanks very much for that, mate. Enjoy the game tomorrow.
Enjoy loads. See you later, Alfie.
See you later, Alfie.
And guys,
guys, I'm going to hit up some comments. Sorry, guys.
Go on, give us some more comments.
There's also another big derby this week. Rangers Celtic. Who do you want to win?
Celtic. Patrick Roberts.
City have got a player on loan at Patrick Roberts at Celtic, so
I want Celtic to win too. So we all want Celtic to win. Who do you despise more, City or Liverpool? This question was for me, but I'm going to ask you first.
Liverpool.
I despise Liverpool more,
for me,
but City are our biggest rivals at the moment.
City. Just going to
No, City are our biggest rivals now.
Yeah.
But I despise Liverpool more. But I think that's probably because I know more Liverpool fans.
Yeah. No,
I like growing up at school.
I know more City fans, and City fans.
It's been going on for years.
City fans are. Don't take this the wrong way.
I'm not going to definitely take it the wrong way.
Knobs, but most of them are quite harmless. Liverpool fans are knobs and not harmless.
Azabuko says Adam is a boss.
Coming from Gaz.
I like you, Azabuko. Hi, Jay. Pogba will score and dubstep dance.
Dubstep dance.
That City fan must be Michael Johnson's son, said somebody.
Sorry?
The blonde hair, Michael Johnson's son.
Michael Johnson's
We
son.
saw him
yesterday.
Right, this is brilliant. I'm going to embarrass Paul once again here. This is genuinely true. It's going to embarrass him. It's great.
Did Paul cry?
Yesterday we saw Trevor Sinclair, right? I'm not going to say, but we saw, he got confused. Michael Johnson with someone else.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Who did I confuse? Michael Johnson.
Thought Michael Johnson was Lionel Messi, guys.
No,
another Johnson.
Yeah,
right.
Johnson.
Anyway, okay. So I'm getting people are saying 6-1 tomorrow. That'd be nice.
Should have been 10.
6 games in your
When it was like 4-2 at your place. Did you start to think that maybe this was going to be an absolute whitewash?
Yeah,
no, but I love. But that's the Man United I love. You see, last season when we were losing against Liverpool. Sorry, Chris, we're going to wrap up in a second. Sorry, guys. Against Liverpool, when we were losing 3-0 and we just needed a few goals, I would have loved if we went out for it and got battered 5-6-0. That's what happened. We were down to 10 men and we just kept going for goals, and that's why we got Dick's 6-1 in our own backyard.
Right, so are we wrapping it up then? Guys, thanks for joining us. Obviously, if you're a United fan, subscribe to this full-time Devils here. If you're a City fan, subscribe to BlueMoonRisingTV. We'll be back tomorrow with this ragtag lot of people. We'll do the live derby watch
doing them like Harambe.
Cuts out for Harambe. Guys, make sure you subscribe to Blue Moon Rising TV. Subscribe to Full-Time Devils.
Full-Time Devils as well if you're a Red. But guys, come back tomorrow. Make sure you're here for the watch along. It's going to be a good laugh. And up the Blues.
Come on, United!
Ever.